few years ago, I saw a video of an F16 Afterburner. I thought it'd be interesting to implement one into an RC configuration, and I did a little research and found a few examples from other videos, and this is what I came up with. I took a 70mm EDF fan and bent a steel plate into a cylinder with spread out cuts at the end. I then used brass tubing to inject fuel behind the fan by bending it into a circle with small exit holes for the fuel. I saw David from Flight Test using this design and thought it'd be a good start. My main source of fuel is going to be butane. Lots and lots of butane. This was the first test. I had to manually control the flow of butane with my hand and light it with my other hand. The flame wasn't very big or consistent, but it was a successful first test. For the second test, I tried using propane instead of butane to see what results I could get. The flame was bigger and brighter than the first test. I think it was due to the propane canister being bigger and having slightly more pressure. Before I show any more tests, I want to show how this setup works. Butane is hooked up to the brass ring and travels at a high pressure, then being forced out 6 small holes. When combined with an air current, the fuel now has an oxygen-rich atmosphere mixed with the fuel. When this is ignited, there is now combustion and that oxygen-rich fuel can burn a bright blue, resulting in extra thrust for an EDF. I needed an easy way to automatically dispense butane and ignite it with a single switch, so I 3D printed a holder for a high torque servo that pushed the canister forward. This method worked great, using a taser for ignition and a servo for fuel control, all controlled from a single 3-position switch. I wanted to test it while inside a plane. It looked promising, but the servos were getting frequency interruptions from the taser. Other than a bit of twitching, everything went smoothly. I wanted to get a few shots looking directly at the engine, but it didn't go so well. Luckily, my camera was zoomed in from a safe distance. The taser must have gotten too close to the ESC and tripped the failsafe by bombarding it with RF signals. For this engine to work, the fan must be on or the butane just burns like a candle. This ended up melting the EDF impeller blades, so I had to order new ones. I decided to ditch the taser and use the internals of an electric lighter because it is more RF friendly and used less power. I also redesigned the fuel holder with a servo to utilize a gear system for a linear actuator. This is a good example of how the 3-position switch controlled the entire system. All the way up was neutral, and the middle was both fuel and ignition, and then the bottom switch was just fuel. I mounted the engine on a cut-up 2x4 and was ready for the final test. This setup worked great. I hope to expand on this in a future video and eventually be able to fly with it. Thanks for watching.